Ugh. So they find an ancient forgotten library buried under the desert. Lost time, and they send me here to check it out, and it's boring. Just having you try and help with all these books. Like, no one even knows what this language is. Klaatu, Boratu, Necktie Noir, Chapo ain't afraid of no Ghosticus, Demonicus? Damn it, I don't even know what that means.
Good morning.
Okay, that was a summoning spell, wasn't it?
Indeed it was.
Well, sorry about that, but it was an accident. You can be on your way. Sorry to waste your time.
No, it doesn't work that way.
In what way does that work then?
2 words. Eternal damnation.
Try 2 more words.
Here's a little exposition for you, Kami. Well, I say Kami, but we both know Kami Albarn. That's not your real name. Even Albarn is just your married name.
It's my name. I'm pretty sure I won it in the divorce.
Let's cut through all this demon victim spiel. Here's the deal. That gibberish you said, that's beautiful. That's like poetry to me. It brought tears to my eyes. You said it just right enough to hold a phonetic structure to be a good old-fashioned demonic invocation. And that little curse at the end, mwah, that was the cherry on top.
High concept, but I'm not interested in making any deal. So go ahead and return to whatever Stygian depth you came from.
Classy. Most people nowadays can't even name a single circle of hell to save their souls. Trust me, I've checked.
I believe you. Can I go now?
No, I'm afraid not. We took an option on your soul the moment you summoned me. I'm just a sub-agent, a shadow of the real boss. I'm just here to close the deal. This is just a formality. In other words...
I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't.
Exactly. You're quick. I like that.
I still haven't made my wish.
Then, make it.
I don't think so. I already have an eldritch being looking for my soul.
Lord Death? Ha! Even he can't save you now. Reading that spell was of your own free will. You signed over all rights to your soul, including any protection he might grant it.
Figured it wouldn't be that easy. By the way, what's the deal with you guys and souls? Like, what do you do with them?
Depends. A majority of them we sell. We have a distribution company. We purchase them, process them, and after a reasonable markup, we sell them to one of the big chains. Like one client, an overlord of an outlying dimension. He uses the souls to animate the bodies of undead maintenance workers. He must go through 2, maybe 3 million souls a year. He gets the bulk discount.
And what if I don't make my wish?
We have a reputation to keep. All terms must be met. But don't try to avoid making a wish to finish the deal. When you die, you come to us even if you never end up making your wish. We won't stop you. That is your decision. But since you are quick, we do have another offer.
What's the trick here, Scratch?
No trick. You forfeit your wish, and in return your soul is all yours. Well, a chance to get it back. Here are the rules. You may ask me 3 questions about my abilities. So after you ask me the 3 questions, you can ask me 1 final question which I must answer or a task I must accomplish. If I am unable, then your soul returns to being yours and yours alone. I will leave without so much as trying to harm you.
Really?
Yes, and that's your first question.
No, I didn't. Ugh. Right. Demon. Evil's not gonna be fair.
I should warn you, the last time someone came up with a question I couldn't answer or a task I couldn't do was a good 50,000 years ago, so please try to make it interesting.
Got it. First, second question. Are there any physical or temporal limitations to your abilities?
No. I can go faster than the speed of light, or I can make 2 electrons in an atom occupy the same quantum state as easily as it is for you to breathe. I can do anything, go anywhere, and I have access to every bit of recorded information in the Omniverse.
And modest too.
Modesty is best saved for those who only pretend they have power.
My next question. Is there any place in the universe, in all of being, that you could go and not find your way back?
No, I can go to the Andromeda Galaxy in a microsecond, faster if I don't stop for lunch. I could go to the ruined world where death never won and madness and Quichen reign. I could walk to the world where Camelot never fell, or to the day that Excalibur broke. If I feel so generous, maybe after this I will go into the years yet to come, to your daughter's wedding day, and tell her why her mother vanished without a sign. I must confess I had higher hopes for you. Trying to find a place I couldn't come back from? An old hat. The last time someone tried that must have been 500 BC. Didn't work then, won't work now. Now ask me a question I can't answer or a task I can't perform.
Not a question, a command. A simple one, too.
So be it. Let's hear it.
Get lost.
No.
Oh, okay. Going to make sure that book isn't opened ever again. Maybe I'll call Maka over lunch.
Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary over many quaint curious volumes of forgotten lore, while I nodded nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I did mutter, tapping on my chamber door, only this and nothing more. Distinctly I remember it was bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I had wished the morrow, vainly I had sought to borrow from my book surcease of sorrow, sorrow for the lost Lenore. Oh, Lenore, for the rare and radiant maiden whom the angels name Lenore, nameless here forevermore. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before, so that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, "'Tis some visitor entrance at my chamber door. This is it and nothing more." Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. "Sir," I said, "or madam, truly your forgiveness I implore, but the fact is I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door, that I was sure I heard you." Here I opened wide the door. Darkness there, and nothing more. Huh? What? Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning. Soon again I heard a tapping, somewhat louder than before. "Surely," said I, "surely that is something at my window's lattice. Let me see then what the thread is." Open here I flung the shutter, when with many flirt and flutter, in there stepped a stately raven of the saintly days of yours. Not the least obeisance made he, not a minute stopped or stayed he, but with mine of lord and lady perched above my chamber door, perched upon the bust of Pallas just above my chamber door, perched and sat, and nothing more. "Though thy crest be shorn and shaven," I said, "art sure no craven, ghastly, grim, and ancient raven wandering from the nightly shore. Tell me what thy lordly name is on the ninth Plutonian shore." Quoth the raven,
"Fool!
"Say it right and stop destroying the rhyme."
But my autistic integrity." Fine. She's not even dead, they broke up. Nevermore."
Then methought the air grew denser, perfumed from an unseen censer. "Wretch!" I cried, "thy God hath lent thee, by these angels he hath sent thee, respite and nepenthe from the memories of Lenore. Quaff, oh quaff this kind nepenthe, and forget this lost Lenore." Quoth the raven,
"Nevermore."
"Be that word our sign of parting, bird or fiend?" I shrieked, upstarting. "Get thee back into the tempest and the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as a token of the lie thy soul hath spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken. Quit the bust above my door. Take thy beak from out my heart, and take thy form from off my door." Quoth the raven,
"Nevermore."
"Take thy beak from out my heart, and take thy form from off my door." Quoth the raven,
"Nevermore."
"Okay, we're doing this.
Uh-oh.
Come back here.
Ha!
Oh my god. What?
Running, jump!
No, not there, move, no, jump on that. No, the portrait, no, stop it. It's on fire now. Hey, kiddo, do you want, what's happening here? I was gone for an hour. How did you start a fire in the library? Everything's on fire. And the raven, never flitting, still is sitting on the pallid bust of Pallas just above my chamber door. And his eyes have all the seeming of a demon that is dreaming. And the lamplight over him streaming throws a shadow on the floor. And my soul from out that shadow lies floating on the floor, shall be lifted nevermore.
Fool!
Excalibur, get off the bust and get the water hose before the whole manor burns up.
The story starts like so many other stories. A girl alone, walking through the woods. People told her not to, that it was too dangerous, but she was sure that with her skills, she could manage to come through unharmed. She started her walk, going down the path through the woods. It was day, so she felt safe. That was her second mistake. She heard a twig crack and readied herself. She might need to fight. She was sure she could handle any animal that this forest might hide. Well, almost any. The big bad wolf could be an issue. They were always hard to put down, but she knew that they had been all but hunted to extinction from what she knew. She focused on her walk. She stayed on alert, though. It could be someone there to rob her. This forest was filled with thieves and bandits. But then again, she hadn't heard of anyone being robbed lately. Maybe someone had taken care of them. Then she caught it in the corner of her eye. It was only a split second, but she saw it. A shadow. A shadow with nothing to cast it. That was when she realized how wrong she had been. No, this wasn't something she could fight or even hide from. She broke into a sprint, running as fast as she could. She dropped whatever she carried to let her run more quickly. This was a foe that she couldn't escape from. He was everywhere waiting. She couldn't hide from him. He was always around every corner waiting. If he caught sight of her, she had to run and hope he lost her long enough to move on. She felt her heart beating in her chest, loud enough that she could hear it in her ears. She could feel the cold sweat dripping from her forehead. She felt a cold shiver, and she knew that it was close. She decided she would not die. Not running if she were to die. She would do so fighting. She would not die. She turned and raised her hand. That's when she saw the shadow for all it was. It was dark and all-encompassing, its pale white face motionless as it moved. She tried to scream, but it was too late. Its large, mangled, sharp-clawed hand dug into her chest. She felt its claws tearing inside her and grabbed something. With a tug, it pulled out her body, and her eyes went wide. It held a glowing purple orb, her body ripped apart, leaving behind only the soul as any proof she existed. Stepping from out of the forest was someone wearing a black cloak, their features hidden. The figure reached out and plunked the soul. Opening its sharp, tooth-filled mouth, they swallowed it whole. The effect happened almost immediately. Energy coursed through them. Sharp, curved blades erupted out of their body before they vanished in a flash of light, leaving behind a large scythe. The shadow picked up the scythe and swung it around, testing it. Yes, the book was right about the experiments. A witch's soul was the last piece needed. And thus, Lord Death made his death scythe. The traitorous witch's experiments were turned on her kind. Every witch knows the story, and knows that death comes or one of his musters and weapons if we reveal ourselves. It's a story I can't let myself forget. I tell myself every day, I don't fit in with the witches, but I can try to hide amongst this school's meisters. I have to stay on guard, keep everyone away, because if they find out what I am, I'll end up just like that witch.